The summer's biggest mystery formally came to a close Wednesday when Kawhi Leonard used his giant hand to sign a giant free agent contract with the Clippers, but even that move came with a twist. Hey everybody, it's another summertime game time from our NBA TV World headquarters here in Atlanta, here with NBA veteran Antonio Daniels. I'm Matt Weiner. Summer League and WNBA highlights are on the way, but first, the Claw. Over the last month, neither the Warriors nor the media could figure out Kawhi Leonard's next move, and Wednesday, he got us again. Instead of the 4-year max many reported he'd sign with the Clippers, Leonard did a 2-year deal with a player option for a third worth $103 million all told. But the structure means, A, we may be on Kawhi watch again 2 summers from now, and B, the Clips paid a steep price to trade for Paul George, which was reportedly the price for doing business with Kawhi. In return for PG, the Clippers sent Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Danilo Gallinari, and 5 first-round draft picks from 22 through 26, 2 they owned via the Heat, plus the option to swap spots with the Clippers 2 other years. Like Leonard, George can opt out of his deal in the summer of 21, which means the Clippers control their new duo for only 2 seasons. Is that too much for 2 guaranteed years of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George?
Well, Matt, the thing about this league is, to be successful, you have to take risk. There's no way around it. You know, if you look at what the Toronto Raptors did this year, Masai Ujiri taking a risk on Kawhi Leonard for 1 year, and you know what they got? They got their first NBA championship.
Right.
You know, I can never be upset at an NBA GM swinging for the fences. Sam Presti did it a couple years ago with Paul George. You know, we just talked about Masai Ujiri doing it with Kawhi Leonard. But this is a big risk. You have given up a lot. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a heck of a young basketball player. You gave up 5 first-round picks for 2 years. Hopefully, the risk is worth the reward.
So what reward would be good enough to make it worth the risk?
There's your question.
How far do you have to get to say, okay, it was worth it?
Well, the Clippers have never been to the Western Conference Finals.
Right.
They've never been to the Western Conference Finals, but I think if you are a Clipper fan, you're not satisfied with just getting to the Western Conference Finals. Now you have 2 of the top 10 players in the world. I think what you're looking at is an NBA championship.
You could argue, given the Clippers' history, that they've already won the deal simply by acquiring a player of Kawhi Leonard's caliber and bringing in Paul George and entering the conversation, entering the season as favorites to win the NBA championship by some estimations.
Right. When you and I were talking prior to the show, you brought up a great point. You said, what team in the NBA today can you say is clear-cut better than the Los Angeles Clippers? You will have a hard time finding one.
And so, when could you have ever said that before about the Clippers?
And with that alone, I'm with you.
Yeah.
With that alone, I think you've won the deal. I think it's worth the risk. Right now, in today's NBA, with the parity, and there's no super teams that are out there that are just dominating with star power, you have to look at the Los Angeles Clippers as the favorite today.
Yeah, but 5 first-round picks, that is not nothing, that's for sure. All right, to Vegas, Pelicans and the Cavaliers Summer League entries. No Zion Williamson, of course. No Darius Garland for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Nickeil Alexander-Walker looked great when we saw him the other night. Hits the fadeaway jumper. Alexander Walker, by the way, the cousin of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Both Toronto guys. And then the block as well. 26 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists for NEW. Third quarter, second-round pick. Marco Luzada Silva knocks down the 3. He looks like he can play.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
He had 12 as well, and you saw Jackson Hayes. I was doing the game the other night when he may have won Summer League with that dunk. I think he wound up with 9 dunks in that game. Hits the 3 there, and then Hayes, that's more like it.
He's trying to play himself into some minutes.
Absolutely. 99-78, but keeping with the theme of Zion and Garland not playing, I've had a lot of guys, not just the top 10 picks, but a lot of first-round picks who seem to be out for one reason or another. Some surgery, okay, that's fair. Some seem to be on a load management situation. Is this bad for Summer League? Is it bad for the NBA? Does it even matter?
Well, you know who I think it's really good for? You know, let's take the Pelicans, for example. Zion has only played 11 minutes, and he was very impactful in his 11 minutes.
Yeah, he was.
But it's really good for Jackson Hayes and Nickeil Alexander. Walker. Really good for those guys. If you look at the impact those guys have had with the time that they've had on the floor, Alexander has been fantastic on both ends of the floor. And I think he's opened a lot of people's eyes with his versatility. Jackson Hayes, his ability to rim run, block shots. Today he stepped out and shot threes. So, you know, it's tough because I know as fans, you want to see the Zions out there. You want to see the Ja Morants out there, the Cam Reddish, and some of these guys that you saw in the college game that really made an impact. But in this instance, if they're not ready to go, surgery or whatever it may be, the most important thing moving forward is to get these guys geared up and ready for the regular season.
I think it's the healthy guys who are getting load managed that have the veteran scratch in their head. Like when I played, we played 17 summer league games.
Times have changed.
That's right.
Just a little bit.
That's absolutely true. Coming up, the Knicks' top pick picked up his game Wednesday in Vegas. The latest from summer league is on the way.